Hey folks, before we jump into today's episode of Hooves Hardware and Halligan's, I want to take a minute and explain uh, the silence lately. I've been in and out of the hospital with some health issues, a couple of ER trips, and recently was diagnosed with bradycardia, which is like my understanding of like a low heart rate. I'm guessing is the best way that I know to explain it, and then also a 25 millimeter lesion on my liver, which is like a cut. It's been rough. I've been trying my best to heal, been down and out. So that's the reason why, just in general, has been zero content on the channel with gaming, the podcast, YouTube clips, outdoor related content. It's just all been off the, on the back burner while I've been trying to recover. Um, that's just, like I said, that's why there's been no content. And I appreciate everybody who's been kind of just sticking around and sending me emails or messages back and forth, make sure that I've been okay. Greatly appreciated that.
We also have another big change, the name. Um, we did not know that there was another podcast out of Texas with the same name as the old ones, as the old episodes, and we do sincerely apologize about that. And they sent us a letter explaining everything, and we decided that it'd be a better option to just go ahead and change the name and roll it with that. So with that being said, the new name's name is Hooves Hardware and Halligan's. And everybody here knows hooves, animals, hardware, the gaming aspect of it. And Halligan's, some of you may or may not know, comes from the fire service. It's a tool that we use. It hits all the beats: outdoors, gaming, and the fire service.
But make no mistake, we're not changing the vibe. It's still gonna have the same campfire style feel to it. It's gonna be the same raw stories and just deep talk how we've always kept it. Just new name and a clearer direction of where we're wanting to go.
So welcome to Hooves, Hardware, and Halligan's. And unlike me, light the fire, not yourself.
Uh, we're not gonna talk about that. All right. So first off, I mean, shit, it's been forever since we've recorded an episode, and like I just mentioned, the whole bradycardia thing. Man, I had no idea I had that going on. Like last month or so, I've been wondering why I've been feeling so uh, exhausted all the time. I was like, man, this ain't right. And like the other day at work, it finally hit me, and they're like, bro, like you need to go to the ER, get checked out. This is not normal for you. And sure enough, after 7 hours and who knows how many hundreds of $1,000s worth of tests later, thankfully I've got good insurance. Trying to figure out bradycardia as one of the underlying issues. I've of course got to follow up with cardiologists and a few other places, but that's side the point. Harvin, what's been going on with you recently? Anything good? Anything new?
Nah, we're picking up a lot of overtime here lately. Vacation's coming up, so
There you go.
got to get that money in the bank. Glad vacation is coming up. I do not have the ability to tell my daughter no when we go on these trips, though.
And when I ever become a girl dad, I'm probably gonna be in the same boat as you. I have an easier time telling the youngin that I've got now no, just because, well, he doesn't understand it because Tizem, which we all have, but I can make those jokes. Um, I mean, don't get me wrong, I try not to tell them no, but sometimes you have to for betterment of their own safety.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of betterment of their own safety,
Oh Lord.
have you ever heard of mutton busting?
Yes, I watched it at the local county fair about a year or two ago, and that is the funniest thing you'll ever see.
Um,
Little youngins grab hold of them sheep and freaking hold on for dear life as they're getting trotted across the arena.
for anybody that hasn't doesn't know what it is, look it up on YouTube. It is some of the best moments you will ever see. But to be able to watch it in person at a rodeo is so much better.
Oh Lord, it is hilarious. I mean,
Like,
I don't know how to explain it. It's great.
don't get me wrong, it's safe. There's someone right, like there's people that are keeping up with these sheep to keep the kids safe the best they can. Like my little girl rode one for the first time last weekend, and when she got up, she didn't know whether she was going to cry or laugh, but the expression on her face was nothing but pure joy.
And from what you sent me on Facebook, man, it looked like she had a hell of a time. I'll be honest with you. Like I kind of got jealous for a second. Me and the wife, we've talked about putting Pee Wee into mutton busting once we can learn how to communicate with him better. And figured, as much as an adrenaline junkie as he is, like I am, I figured he'd enjoy it. But we've got a little learning to curve there with the Tizem to figure out. But we're getting there. But no, like
Hey,
definitely.
listen, there ain't nothing wrong with having to learn how to communicate with your child.
No, no, absolutely not.
It
I'm
is what
not
it
knocking
is.
that. I mean, look how long it took for us to learn how to communicate with each other because we both got Tism.
That's fair.
that
Hey, I'm diagnosed.
well, I'm pre-diagnosed if you want to call it that. I've had several doctors and nurse practitioners like thinking you may have some Tism, but I don't have the time or the funds to go get that checked out. But
Oh,
unofficially,
anyway,
officially
so
diagnosed.
that's fair. But hunting season is coming up.
Yes, it is.
Any plans? Any new areas you're going to hunt? Anything like that?
Well, so far with prep work, I mean, I've got most of it done, if not all of it. I've got my game camera back down in the field where I had it at last year when DOA finally made his appearance. I've got a tripod set up for muzzleloading modern gun. Got to work on patching my ground blind. I think the muzzle blast from the 25-06 may have done a little more damage than I anticipated. Got to patch it up. But I mean, as far as prep goes, I mean, there's not much to. I mean, because I hunt on private land, so I mean, deer know that area pretty well. I don't have to do much with it. Um,
So I've hunted public land before, and I don't really care too much for it. I feel like there's too many people in the woods at one time
yeah,
compared to like private lands. So like when I go hunting, it's usually on my uncle's property. So it's one of those things that's like I know if my cousin's in the woods and if I need to avoid the area he's in on top of trying to go through where I'm at.
right. And I think we may have tried to touch on this on the last episode. Of course, it's been forever. I can't remember about our different tactics of hunting. Like I'm more of a tree stand ground blind, sit and wait them out type of guy, and you're more of a stalk your prey type of deal.
So I think I'm gonna change that this year.
Oh, are you now?
I am. I'm 30 years old and my knees aren't the way they used to be.
Why do you think I switched to the ground blind and a tree stand?
So I think I'm gonna try tree stand this year. That's if I get to get in the woods. Like I've said before, wife's busy, work, my daughter in cheer, like it's hard to do
Oh,
a
no,
whole lot
for
of
sure.
anything.
I mean, you still got to find time for yourself though, somewhere in the mix to kind of decompress.
Well, see that it's a weird thing. Like I love hunting, don't get me wrong, but being able to watch, we're allowed to sit in the cheer practice right now because like they haven't actually started going deep into what they're going to do. But being able to watch my daughter learn these new skills and stuff it's actually a better high to me than sitting in a tree stand.
Oh no, for sure. I mean, I guarantee that's definitely the case. I mean, I can't speak for it firsthand, but like when my sisters were into that, like getting to sit and kind of watch some of that, watching them grow and learn new things was a pretty good piece of memory to hold on to, I guess. Um, so you're changing your tactics up this year. You're looking at maybe going into a tree stand type situation. Have you thought as far as like a hang on, climber stand, ladder stand, saddle?
So ours are all I don't want to necessarily say permanent because they can be moved, but we don't move our tree stands a whole lot
So
because so we use or so turkey season and deer season kind of come in around the same time. Well, not really the same time, but they follow suit if that makes sense.
yeah, usually it's you got your deer season and you got fall turkey season kind of come in. Oh, excuse me,
Yeah.
come in there towards the end of it or middle of it
So
rather.
there have been studies that will show, and if I can find them, I'll send them to you, and we can talk more in depth about them next time. About how turkeys can actually tell if their environment has changed than what it was the day before. So, like, say you go and put up a new tree stand or something, the turkey may or may not be able to notice that, which is going to ruin your hunt.
Well, you gotta look at it this way too, though, and I know what you're talking about. I've read on this a little bit too in a couple of the Kentucky Field and Streams magazine and stuff I've looked through recently. Is like with the turkey, like for them to be such a small-brained animal, they're very, very intelligent. Like their notice of detail is so fine that it's wild. Like I don't even know how to explain it, but like if you take your tree stand and say you've got it in like we'll say an oak tree in one spot and you move it 25, 30 feet downhill and you put it in like another hardwood tree, like not necessarily like an oak tree, but like an acorn tree or something, like some turkey will pick up on that and they will not come in that area for a while. And deer kind of
Yeah,
pick up on that because like another thing I've noticed too is like turkey, squirrel, crows, birds, owls, whatever, are like the deer's alarm system, I guess, if you would. Like if there's a noticeable threat, like they'll alarm or they'll change their pattern, and it's kind of like the deer pick up and be like, huh, they're not going over here for some reason. I'm going to stay away from that area.
yeah, and
And
the woods are all in balance, and if one animal notices something is off, they're all going to start noticing something is off.
yeah, they pick up on each other's movements quite easily. But speaking of your stands, you're saying that they're like a semi-permanent type of deal. Like you can move them, but they're more or less like locked into one tree unless you want to move it. So, like, are you using like sticks to climb to the stand itself? Like you put your
No,
sticks,
it's still the metal stands.
right? But like, okay, so is it like a ladder stand? Like you assemble like say three rungs worth of ladders. You put that in the tree and you put your seat on top of it and lock it into the tree, or do you put sticks on the tree, climb up, and then you put your seat and your stand in there and you fasten that down and you climb into it from there? There's a
So
difference.
bear with me. Bear with me. Tree stands are kind of a new thing to me.
No, that's why I'm trying to explain it the best that I can.
So I think most of the ones that we have up are like you have three rungs of ladders or three spans of ladder
Oh, so it's a
or
ladder
two or
stand.
however many you want to put. Yeah,
Yep. See, the way I was thinking is like you said there's semi-permanent. I was kind of thinking maybe like a hang-on stand. Like you've got, the rail or not the rail, but the base where you set your feet, and of course the seat part itself that you bind into the tree. Then you use like climbing sticks or uh, like how I used to do it. You take 2x4 or whatever, and you screw it or nail it into the freaking tree for your ladder, and you climb up and get in. But that's more of like a hang-on stand.
yeah,
And of course, you got your climber stands, which is the one where you've got to move the top, move the bottom, move the top, move the bottom. You actually climb with the tree stand up the tree. Those are fun, especially when the bottom slips out from underneath you. Um,
I don't feel like I can trust one of those.
I've been using them since I've been, I don't know, 10 years old. They're fairly safe, and the one I was using compared to what they've got out today, the safety improvements on those have evolved like dramatically. Because used to it would just you take like a wire and you'd wrap it around from like say the left side of the tree stand to the right and you would just kind of like lock it in. Now, as I was just relying on that, like some of them have straps, have got like little teeth on the back of them that'll actually bite into that tree when you've got your strap wrapped around it, and you screw those down as well as lock them into place. And I'm telling you right now, as long as you've got the top of that tree stand ratchet binded to the bottom, and them straps are in good condition, that tree stand's not going anywhere. Now, mind you, it's always safe to lock in with a harness when you get to where you're going, or use a gut strap as you're climbing, just as a tertiary safety precaution. But the newer tree stands, man, they're insane. The one I've got right now, I can climb 40 foot up in a tree and not have to worry about it budging at all.
So tell you something that's wild is this the property that we hunt has been in the family for generations, at least two to three that I know of. One of the tree stands my cousin still uses was built by his great grandfather.
And it's still in the tree still yet.
Yes, it is very well taken care of.
Well, that's good. I mean, shoot, you hunting around spots like that, like how I do out there on Ant's property out here in where I'm at in central Kentucky, I mean, if you look not even 20 yards to uphill from where my ground blind goes, there's an old wood framed, like hand built tree stand that's, of course, it's dilapidated, fell down over the years because nobody's used it, and I didn't discover it until the other day. I'm like, if the old timers were hunting there, for a fact there's good deer hanging out in that area. Like, that's how I've always put it. Now, you was talking about the public versus private land thing. I know you said that you've hunted public and you don't care for it. I've hunted it several times, and the WMA back in your area on Fish Trap Lake, like, that place is dangerous. I mean, I was in there one day, and it's supposed to be like an archery only hunting area unless they've changed it recently. And I've had people shoot rounds down towards me before. I'm like, okay, it's time to get the hell out of here. And like, I've had the same thing happen with a couple of WMAs out this way, and I'm like, nope, I'm gonna stick to private. I ain't touching public. But now I have.
Well, see, that was my big thing. Is like on private land, especially if you know the owners and you're like close to them. I won't necessarily say like close like my family is, but to the point that,
like a really good
I'm going to
neighbor
be
or
in the woods.
somebody.
Yeah, like, hey, I'm going to be in the woods on the southeast end the next 2 days from estimated time 6 a.m. to 10 or 11 o'clock. They know to be looking for the orange or confirm what they're pointing at before they pull the trigger. Unlike like public land,
you just never know.
You don't know what people are doing.
And it's sad part about public land is like a lot of people only go like 300, 400 yards away from where they parked at. But last year, I went one time to the Taylorsville WMA, and this part that I went to, you didn't have to have a boat to get to. It was just kind of like off the side of a 2-lane road. And I parked at the gate. I walked 3 miles back into this WMA, went up a tree, and the amount of deer movement was insane. But like around me, there's just gunshots galore. And the sad part is like this WMA is primarily archery only. Like, you can gun hunt on it, but you've got to be drawed for it, like in a quota hunt or like in a lottery system type of deal, like you would for like elk hunting. And
dude, I would love to get an elk hunt.
Like, I'm 2 or 3 miles back in here, and I've still got people shooting in my direction. Like, what in the hell is going on? But now I've seen some bruiser deer back in there. But the sad part about public land, WMAs, or if y'all don't know that acronym, it's Wildlife Management Area. The sad part with that is like you can't put any like semi-permanent or permanent structures in. Like, if you bring a ground blind in, you gotta pack it back out with you. If you take a tree stand in, it's gotta come back out with you. You can't use a game camera on them things. Like, you've like seriously got to go back and like what's the word I'm looking for here? Primitive style. Like, you've got to like manually go scout, and you've got to manually set places for hours on end and glass and look and check wind directions, and like there's a lot that goes into hunting public land versus private.
So basically, what I'm hearing is my version of hunting is better on public land.
I mean, I don't have anything wrong with primitive hunting. I don't. But, and I see why you got to carry your stuff back out, is because people will steal your shit if you leave it on public land. I've had it happen, and I'll never do it again. Like, I thought I had carried everything out with me one year, and I ended up leaving like a bottom 3 or 4 rungs of part of a ladder to a ladder stand I was using. And I went back, like, we're talking less than 8 hours, because I sat from like 6 a.m. until 6 p.m. when it was like nowhere near legal shooting light before or after when I came out. And I went back 3 hours later. It's like, oh shit, I forgot part of my ladder stand. And I go back, and that son of a bitch is gone. Like, I'd done a 1 mile radius from the tree I was in a circle, zigzag pattern, hold on, I could not find it. I was like, all right, screw this public land shit. I'm done. So, private land is the way to go. But
so, is there any gear that you're definitely taking this year?
Oh, well,
compared to like gear that you won't touch at all.
Well, I mean, as far as what I'm packing this year, of course, I'm taking the 25-06 Ackley Improved. I love that gun. It is a freaking nail driver. And then of course I'm taking my my bear archery bow. It's set up. It's dialed in finally. I got a couple of new arrows for it. I may have screwed up during target shooting the other day, but it's rearing and ready to go. There's some equipment that I probably won't mess with this year. I had an old set of camis that my grandfather-in-law gave me to use because I didn't have any after, fallout with my son's biological mother and the fallout with my ex-wife and yada yada, all my stuff disappearing. So, like, I've got a set of camis that are like military grade camis. I'm not sure if you've seen my YouTube video or not when I was out scouting the other day or not, but like they are perfect for blending into the environment that I'm in. Plus, with the dark colors and everything on it, it'll help me blend in better to my ground blind. So I'm really excited to test that tactic out this year. There was another piece of gear. My little zero trace, I'm taking it. That thing, I've had deer walk up 10 yards from me and just stare at me and wonder what the hell that silhouette is, but they never busted me. And that's with the wind blowing to them. I don't know, as far as the gear, I won't touch anymore, man. There's really not... All the gear that I use right now currently has just been par for the course. Shit, I can't think of it.
Gear for me is real weird.
Yeah.
And it's because, like, you may have a company put out a shit product this year, but next year it is the best on the market.
Now, I have seen that happen. Shit, what brand was it? You might have to jog my memory on this, and you might know it. It was a bow brand. I don't remember if it was... I don't know if I can say their name without us getting in trouble again, but I'm going to do it, and we'll see what happens. I don't remember if it was Matthews or Bowtech or... what's that other big brand? Shoot.
Wasn't Guinness, was it?
No. It's like the three...
Or not Guinness, Genesis.
No, it's the three big flagship bows. You've got Matthews, you've got Bowtech, and then you've got... shoot. Anyway, it's one of like the three big flagship bows, and I think it was Matthews that year. They put out with this brand new big fancy bow. It's supposed to reach 80 yards at like 400 feet per second. Like, supposed to be a nail driver. And a buddy of mine, he's always into like, I want the newest, best thing every year. Like, he never has the same bow every year. He never does. It drives me nuts. But anyway, he goes and he buys this thing. He gets all the new hot stuff, new arrow rest, new sights, new D-loops, new release, new harness, the whole 9 yards. Like, he decks it out new every year. And he was out target practicing with me. Now, may I mind you, I've got a $500 Bear bow that's like set up, ready to go out the box. I was shooting 80, like, man, mind you, this bow is not designed for 80 yards. My bow isn't, like, it's not what it's equipped for. And like at 80 yards, I was hitting my target just damn near perfect. And he shot at 80 yards, and the arrow dropped like 10 yards shy. And dude's like, man, that's weird. I'm like, okay, well, let's step it up to 20. We'll, walk it back. We'll see what goes on. 20 is on tight, 30, 40, 50, all of it all the way back to 70s, dead on center. I'm like, oh, that's weird. Drop back to 80, he shoots, falls 10, 15 yards short. I'm like, dude, you just got screwed. Like, you just spent $3,000 on that bow just to get gypped. But then the following year, the year after, they revamped that bow. They new limbs, new strings, whatever goes on these bows, and I don't know all the technical terminology. But that damn thing will go out to 80, 90 yards at 400 foot per second. And I'm like, dude, that is insane. Like... And to me personally, when it comes to archery, like 40 yards is my max shot. Like, it's as best as my hind end feels comfortable shooting. I don't care what my bow can do. I'm not going past that. And then, like, bro's like, I can reach 80 yards. And I'm like, ooh, that's great. But, like, where in the hell are you hunting that you can see 80 yards without any type of interference? Like, you don't need that. Like, that's, I don't know, dude. I'll never understand it. But yeah, like you're right. There's some years that companies come out with some like really trash, shitty product, and then like the following year they'll come out with something the same, but they've revamped it, and it's like top of the line. Like, you can't beat it. So,
see,
like,
that's my thing. It's like I will constantly read reviews like crazy before I buy something. I'm weird like that. I always have been.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. You've got to do your research into it to make sure you're getting a good product.
Yeah. So like, I may feel like I got burnt buying this product last year, but then start reading the reviews and it be something that I make sure is in my bag before I leave for every hunt.
Well, it's like the bear archery bow that I've had. Like I've shot Matthews, I've shot Parkers, I've shot Bear, Bowtech. I've shot a lot of different brand bows throughout the years, like hand me downs or brand new bows. You know, like man, like a couple years ago, I was like, man, I'm gonna get back in archery hunting. I ain't done it in forever. It's like I go down to the local gun shop down the road here, Kentucky Gun Company, and I was like, hey man, like what's good this year? And they're like, well, it depends on your budget. I'm like, well, like I want to say 1,000 or below. And he's like, well, closest thing I can get you that's out the door ready to rock is this bear bow. And I'm like, hold up, pull up my phone, look like 5-star, 5-star, 4-star, 4-star, 5-star, 5-star. I'm like, damn. Like, all right, bet. Get it home. Of course, it was dialed in for 20 automatically, so I backed it up to 50, and I'm like, shit, this bow, that's all I'm gonna need. And then like I was reading some of the reviews on the same bow from the previous model year, and it was like trash, like 1-star, 2-star, and I'm like, oh, I hope I didn't get burned. But I mean, so far, I mean, in practice, this little bow that I've got, man, it's been a tight driver. I love it. But yeah, I mean, like back to what you were saying, like you got to do your research on what you're going to be spending potentially of hundreds of thousands of dollars on to just go out in the hills.
Yeah.
And it's the same way with gaming tech. Like this computer that I have from Zydax, great company, you know, out in Utah. I think that's where they're at, unless they've moved recently. But anyway, like I've had this gaming rig now for 2-3 years. I can't remember, and it's had a couple of little hiccups. But that's going to happen. Anything man-made's destined to fail. And like send them a message like, hey, this is what's going on, yada yada. They're like, all right, cool, we'll pay for your shipping, send the PC to us, we'll fix it, we'll send it back out. And within like a week, my computer's back. Pay nothing because of lifetime warranty. And I'm like, dude, this is great. Like people were dogging Zydax, and I'm like, man, this can't be right. Ain't no way. Sent a message to a buddy of mine that's in like the gaming sphere, and I was like, man, what do you know about Zydax? And he's like, dude, I don't know why people are dogging them. They're a great company. So like I spent the $2,000, got this computer, and I've had nothing but good things to say about it, other than the normal man-made hiccups that's going to happen.
So
Like it goes hand in hand.
I want to say I can't remember the brand of trail camera, but it was a satellite, not satellite. It was cellular uh, trail camera.
Mm-hmm.
And for people who don't know, they make ones that you can just put SD cards in, and then you have to go and check it every so often. And then they have ones that are satellite that upload the pictures to like a website. And then they have cellular ones that every time something moves in front of this trail camera, you automatically get a picture of it.
Yeah, just like mine. I love my little camera. Anyway.
So, we bought two, and we bought one that was solar because one of the fields that we hunt it gets sun like 90% of the day, so you're not really going to have an issue there. The battery one though, we didn't. It was our fault, but the company, we sent it back to the company because we originally thought it was a bad seal. But we had read so many bad reviews about how like they don't seal stuff like that. Turned out it was just these people. If you don't pay attention to how you're closing it, it won't seal right, which is going to ruin your camera.
I think I know what brand you're talking about. And if it's the brand I think it is, I'm not going to mention their name because that will definitely catch us some flack. But I got you. I know what you're talking about. Now, the camera that I have
Like
now, I'll brag about them all day long.
Anything that's battery powered, truly, that if you're going to leave out in the woods like that, if you don't pay attention and don't really make sure that it's sealed all the way around, it's going to get water in.
Oh yeah, no, I mean it's going to be out in the elements. I mean rain, snow, sleet, hail. Like mine this past year, actually this year back in April and May was in a damn tornado, and some bitch is still working tight. So like, I've got no complaints over here. Like me personally, like if you're going to go for a cellular camera, Tacticam, they make the Revel cameras. Them cameras are been the bee's knees. like $5 a month for the cellular service, and then of course you got to put like a certain SD card into it or whatever. But like it works great. Like on my phone, I can go in there or their website, either one. I go in there and adjust the sensitivity settings. I can adjust the flash settings. I can adjust the distance it takes a photo out to like 80 feet. Um, I can adjust
Sounds
like
like
when it works, when it doesn't work, and then like if you
sounds
get
like something I need to look into.
like you want to look into Tacticam, dude. I'm telling you right now, they're the bee's knees. Um, God, man, I could keep bragging for them this whole entire podcast, but anyway, um,
So, what games have you played, like
recent,
hunting, survival, that caused you to try something in real life that actually worked, or that you want to try and hope it works?
I ain't gonna lie to you. I've been stuck on this game for like the last month while I've been recovering from bradycardia. Has been the Hunter Call of the Wild. Uh, as far as realism goes, man, that game just about has it pegged. Like, I mean, like you've got to use scent control. You got to be able to stay like upwind from the animals, whole 9 yards. And there's I haven't had a lot of experience using it because like a lot of places I hunt, it's like you know, not really pressured any. So like I can use them if I want to, but I haven't. I might this year is like grunt calls or scent lures or rattling antlers or something like that. Like I haven't had a chance to use it yet, and I got to thinking, I'm like, well, the place where I hunt at, it's like very remote, and there's not a lot around it. So I'm like, oh, I'll try it this year. Um, that game is really
Something.
some stuff in there that I really want to try. Like some stock and spot and stock. I don't know. I get
One
that
of
backwards.
the I'm gonna date myself here, but something I want to try, and it's from Deer Hunter 5.
Oh God.
So
Oh,
yeah, way back.
core memory.
You remember how you could choose the vehicle that you got whenever you first started your hunt in the game?
Vaguely, yeah.
I always chose the horse.
Because of the natural sounding movements of the animal.
Yes, and I feel like that would do wonders in hunting. I've never tried it, but I want to.
No, I wouldn't have ever thought about that, but that's not a half bad idea.
My wife's arguing with the cat.
Oh Lord, don't worry about it. I'll be arguing with either the cats or the dogs in a minute when they start barking or clawing at me. Um, let's see here. The hiccups now. Jeez, oh Pete. So, is there any like tech out there that you're looking at, like as far as like GPS, comms, different apps, or anything like that to help you out as far as like, because I know you don't video game, but like as far as your outdoors related experiences go, like any new tech to help you with like communicating with your other people you're out hunting with, or any type of new systems that you're working on, like any new cameras or anything to that effect?
Not really.
So you're gonna go at it like the full bore, just primitive. I'm gonna go out there and see what the hell happens, type of guy.
Yeah,
Go out there and fuck around and find out.
don't get me wrong. I always tell someone where I'm at.
No, I mean, yeah, I mean safety purposes. Um, so here's one because like I've been out of service for a while now, and of course with the bradycardia, I doubt I'm gonna ever get back into it. But like, what's new in the fire service? Like the new tech and the new equipment at like SCBAs or ticks or turnout gear redesigns? Anything cool in that land of things that you've noticed?
So something I've noticed that is becoming more prominent is firefighting robots.
Not like a
And
little
like it's
tank looking thing that I've seen Firehouse Coffee use.
yes, so I feel like those have their place as far as like massive hazmat incidents and fire suppression on like ships and stuff like that. But as far as like true structure fires, I don't think you'll ever be able to replace the heart of the fireman because like we were told to protect life and property.
Right.
One of the first things I was always taught by Will Stett was if you see a family picture on the wall as you're going through a house doing a search, pull it off the wall and stick it in your jacket.
Been told that several times. The thing with, like you was talking about with that robot is like I could see like the use of like you said, like a hazmat scene or like a big warehouse fire or cargo ship container fire, something commercial grade. Like those would definitely serve a good purpose because, like, I don't say for example, Walmart catches on fire. Like you deploy one or two of them, and of course they're like a master stream device if I'm not mistaken. And like you take them suckers in there, and you could probably knock down a fire in minutes and not have to worry about sacrificing man. I think you might lose some equipment, but that's better than sacrificing your personnel.
If you have the water supply for one of those.
Well, that is true. I mean, if you
but
look,
like you're not going to have the water supply for something like that.
I was going to say, like back in, where you're in service at and where I used to be in service is like predominantly rural area. Like you're going to do a lot of docking and damming at the creeks. You're going to do a lot of drafting, a lot of shuttling. Um, I mean, it's rural water supply at its finest back home. So like some places you're going to have a good hydrant connection to where you're going to be able to flow the GPMs to be able to use that. Some areas you're going to be lucky if you have a hydrant. So, like, I see its place. What about...
Bro, outside the city limits, there's no such thing as a hydrant. They're flush valves.
That is true. Little pop-off valves. What about as far as, like, any new thermal imaging cameras coming out recently or new, like, abilities with SCBA and MAS to have ticks in them?
So I love the there's a lot of fire departments that are going to they're wanting to try to issue every firefighter a personal thermal imaging camera, which for those of you who don't know, that's what TIC stands for. TIC, thermal imaging camera. Which yes and no, because like take your search teams, for instance. They are going to be able to use that to help find people, especially because like people will read as a lower temperature on those, and you'll be able to see them on the screen easier compared to just looking around. Because in fire situations, like you can't see anything. Like everybody wants to think that you have this nice bright orange glow, you're going to be able to see everything. No, that's not at all.
No, you consider the off-gassing, the smoke, carbon monoxide, and the whole 9 yards, you're lucky to see a foot. Now that's if you're lucky.
Yeah.
Now with TIC, the great thing about those is they can see through that because they read heat signatures.
Yep. And they also come in handy like if you're near overhaul, which is the end of the fire when you're cleaning everything up, you're going through looking for hot spots. The old school way was you just went and tore the whole ceiling out, and if you found something, okay, awesome. Now you don't have to do that. You can just tear out certain sections if you see a hot spot.
That drastically helps too with like homeowners insurance claims and that whole 9 yards too. What about?
But as far as like having them in the face piece for the SCBA, it could be a blessing and a curse because you could get so reliant on just that you forget to actually do your fuel and everything. Because this is so bad, but like kids, for instance, are so bad about hiding in situations like that. They'll hide under beds, they'll hide under covers, and like you're not going to be able to see their heat signature or lack thereof in a fire environment through those blankets. And if you just have it in your mask and you're like, oh, I don't see anything there, you may neglect to actually touch the bed and feel around and see what is actually there.
which puts a lot of liability on the fire service too.
Yeah.
And not only that, but like the potential for a loss of life that could have potentially been saved had you used both your tactile skills that you're taught on top of using the tick. Like if you put both of those together, hands on plus the tick, like you're probably gonna make a lot of good saves. But like just relying on one versus the other, it's gonna be kind of well, you might have screwed up because we found somebody.
Yeah.
They both have their place. Well, so about some would you rather type of deals. You got any would you rather questions you want to fire away that's not going to get us demonetized?
I will. No, I'll let you go ahead with what you got.
Oh God, you got to think of something friendly. All right, here's your one. Would you rather take $1 million to hunt public land the rest of your life, or go $2 million in debt, but you'll be able to hunt all the private land that you could ever want to hunt?
Mm.
Like I know where I'm going with that. Like, just it's just me, but
I mean, I got bills. Man, like,
I mean, don't get me wrong. I've got bills and stuff I got to pay too. But homie, I ain't touching public land. Like, give me the $1 million in debt. I'll work a bunch of overtime. I'm gonna hunt private land. Like, that $1 million is nice, but my life's more important than money.
that's fair. I think I'd have to go with $1 million for the or $1 million in debt to be able to hunt private land.
Oh, without a doubt. Okay. Would you rather have to be stuck fishing Fish Trap Lake for the rest of your life, or only be able to fish a lake in California for the rest of your life?
Does the Fish Trap Lake include the wildlife management areas that are connected to it?
No, just the body of water itself and the spillway that connects to it. Like, you can't hunt or anything on it, just like the body of water, Fish Trap Lake, and the spillway. Or tailwater, as some people call it.
Bro, you couldn't pay me enough to live in California.
I'm not saying you have to
Or even
live in
go,
California, but like
like not even to go.
you'd only be able to fish like the only lake or lakes that you'd be able to fish are in the state of California. Like you couldn't fish any other lake, like not Guntersville, not Fish Trap, not Taylorsville, not Dewey, Paintsville, none of them. Like you could only fish bodies of water in the state of California.
Oh, you couldn't pay me enough to go to California. Like,
Yeah, no.
So hard no.
Give me
like,
fish, give me Trash Trap. I'll figure it out.
It's on your phone, isn't it? Oh, okay.
I'll tell you one. Right quick, got a little bit of a hot take getting off the would you rather until you figure out something friendly. A little hot take here.
One.
Oh, well, go ahead with it. We'll bounce around.
Would you rather have to have all your pictures from your trail cams get sent to you through dial-up,
Oh, God.
or have to go and pull them out and take them and have them developed?
So, make sure I understood this correctly. Either receive my photos digitally via dial-up, or have to go to my camera, pull out a reel, and have it developed.
Yes, and I'm talking about noise and all with the dial-up.
Ooh, that's a good one. Actually, at least with dial-up, I'd still at least get them digitally, but it'd take forever to receive them. Keep my scent out of the area, but...
Anybody young to know what dial-up is, it sounds like your computer got ran over by an 18-wheeler while the 18-wheeler got hit by a train and a plane crashed into the train.
Hang on a second, I got this. Probably won't get like in trouble for this, but...
You send me the PTSD for this.
Oh, yeah. Hang on a minute, folks. Let me get this loaded up. I'll get this for you. Here you go.
have to play it next week.
Do what?
Just have to play that next week.
Yeah, so for y'all that don't wonder what the hell that sound was, that's dial up. Like you're talking kilobytes a second versus megabytes versus gig. Like that is something that haunted me for years.
Forbid somebody pick up the phone while you're trying to
Oh
download a game.
God. Be on Kazaa or LimeWire looking up some risky stuff, and then somebody picks up the phone and it's like, "Hey, I was on the internet."
For anybody that don't know what LimeWire was, it's what we use to give our computer aid to get music at the same time.
Kazaa, LimeWire. Damn, there's another good one. But I can't remember the name of it now. Sure, some of the viewers will be able to point some out. Anyway, back to the hot take that I had right quick. Is people that poach on private or public land. Like, and by poaching, I mean like by any means, whether it's a drive-by, or riding around an ATV and like, oh, I see something, stop, jump off, shoot, or leaving a carcass laying around, or like whatever.
They had their license.
Like whatever you can think of for poaching. Like, God, I cannot stand that shit.
I think they shouldn't be able to hunt, period, at all.
No, I like it should be like a lifetime. Like, you're done. You so much as touch. And it even comes into fishing too. Like, there's people that poach while fishing, and like if you do any of that shit, your outdoorsmanship card needs to be revoked. Like, you're done. Like, no more. Like that. Oh God, that shit burns me. Cause like when I was like out on the aunt's property, out just down the road to the house a bit, like I'm walking around that, and like of course I found that bow holder that I found right before the deadhead, and like I was like, man, that's weird. It's kind of like we got a little mold on it or mildew, but like it's still in like good shape. It's not rusted or whatever. I'm like, man, somebody been up here poaching. And so like my thing was like I found their old net they was using tucked away. I found their old chair, and I found the arrow rest or the bow rest. I snatched all that out and took it out of the hills with him. Like, you think you're coming up here to poach this year? Nope, your stuff is gone. Like, God, that burns me. Yeah, speaking of deadhead, I can't believe that thing scored what it scored. It's a good one.
I'm just like, I don't care about your kid. Like, that's coming to me.
Hey, you think?
You said you would haunt me. It's not like I'll be scared of you anyway. I'd tell you to go out and go off somewhere.
I mean, that's fair. Got any more would you rathers? Or any off the wall question or like gear or tech related type of deal?
Would you rather only ever see spikes for the rest of your life, or only ever catch fish that are barely above?
I'm sorry.
Or
catch fish that are barely what?
Catch fish that are barely over the, like, they're bare almost. So you know how they have size limits, like you can only get so big.
Yeah.
Would you rather only catch fish that are just over that limit every time you fish, knowing you can't keep them, or only ever see spikes every time you go in?
At least with, and I'm gonna go with this one. Like don't get me wrong, I want the deer to grow up, get bigger and healthier, but at least spikes will put food on the table. Versus a fish that may or may not be legal. It's like, I better not keep that. My family's gonna starve. Like, I'm going with spikes. At least I can feed my family.
That's fair.
Like, that's just me. Here we go. What is one of the worst moments you've had during deer season, the last that you can remember?
Does any time the game warden shows up count?
I think everybody would consider that a bad time.
I'd have to say, like, back when I was younger and just starting to hunt on my own, I had shot a 8 point, and it had crossed property lines. And if I'm not mistaken, in the state of Kentucky, as long as you shot it on your property, you can cross property lines to collect your animal.
Used to, you can't now. You have to have a game warden come with you now.
Oh, you do?
Unless
Okay.
unless
Well,
the property owner is cool with you, like if you knock on their door, like yeah, you can go ahead and go get it. Like if you knock on the door, they say no, like you have to call Fish and Game and they have to come out and like hey, like you're gonna get charged for wanton waste if you don't allow them to come collect their kill.
so like I didn't know that I could cross property lines, and the property owner was like, "No, you can't do that." So I lost an entire 8 point buck. Like, don't get me wrong, they ended up eating the animal, which is fine, I guess. But like, that was one of the first bucks I killed on my own, if that makes any sense.
Mortimer's have to at least ask them if you could have kept a head, get it mounted at least.
I just gave up.
Uh,
My
that
my grandpa, but
that
so
that's something else that I can't stand is like you shoot a deer whether it's like gun, muzzleloader, archery, whatever, and it ends up going a couple hundred yards off into somebody else's property before it finally succumbs to its injuries, and like you instantly go to the neighbor, like knock on their door, like hey, like I shot a deer over here. It came over near property. I watched it fall. Do you mind if I go collect it? And they're like, no. Like get a warrant or whatever, and then they shut the door in your face. It's like I can't stand that. Like it's kind of why I'm like Kentucky now has that wanton waste law. Like if that happens, you call up Fish and Game, and you're like, hey, douchebag won't let me come get my deer. It ran on their property and expired over there. I'd really like to collect my deer. Game warden be like, all right, cool. Like I'll be over there in whatever time. They show up. They knock on the door. Say, hey, so and so, Fish and Wildlife. They've shot a deer. It expired on your property. We're gonna go get it. And since
well,
Fish and
see,
Wildlife is like part of like a federal agency, I understand, but they're state, but they're also federal. Is that like they can just go? So, like, yeah,
that's my big issue. Depending on how long it takes for the game warden to get there, is the meat going to be any good?
well, and see now that depends on the time of the year. Like usually, like if it's like early season, like September to like October before it starts getting cold, like normally, like they'll either send a game warden, they'll send a state trooper, they'll send a county sheriff, whatever the closest law enforcement agency is, and they'll be like, hey, like, you don't let them go get their deer. That's wanton waste. And if you go up there to get your deer after certain times expired, and it's no good, it's bloated, it's gassy, it's nasty, whatever. Then, if I'm not mistaken, and don't quote me on this, but the property owner that didn't allow you to get your animal can still be charged with wanton waste. And then, of course, game wardens will take possession of the carcass and do whatever it is they do with it. And I don't quote me on this either, but I don't think it'll burn a tag either. So, like, there's ways to protect a hunter just as well as there's ways to protect a property owner. And that wanton waste law is like a very helpful thing. Okay, somebody gets busted for poaching, they shoot a deer. It's like, say, like a nice 10 point. They shoot it and they just shave their head off, leave the meat and everything in the field. Game warden bust them for that, they're done. Like, oh, puppies, hush. Like an automatic, like, 1 year ban from hunting or fishing. Like, automatic off the top. Plus a fine. So, like, they're doing better with stepping on the rules on that. And I think, last I recall, they're working on some type of law or some type of permit that a hunter can use where if you shoot a deer and it goes onto a neighbor's property, that you take that form, you fill it out, and like you call a game warden, it's like, hey, I filled out this form, deer ran on their property, watched it drop, I know where it's at. Game warden or whoever's like, okay, yeah, put this time, date, whatever on it, and like you serve it to the property owner, and at that point, it's like a temporary trespass permit. Like you can go over, snatch your animal, and get the hell off, type of deal. Now it's not been approved yet, but it is in the works, from my understanding.
Question about the way you feel about this.
Oh Lord.
When you get your deer,
Mm-hmm.
Do you bury the guts or leave them out for a carnivore to get?
Well, so I've done both, and either way, carnivores can get to it. But me personally, I like, of course, like if I harvest a deer on the aunt's property, like I'll go ahead and call it in, tag it there, and then I'll bring it home and I'll dress it and everything at the house because it's only like a half-hour ride, so like I ain't got nothing to worry about. And then like I'll take the carcass after I've got all the meat and everything off of it and the guts, and I'll throw it like in the hillside. And then, of course, if it's the right time of the year for coyotes, free picking. But normally I'll leave them out in the open and let predators do what predators do. Let nature take its course. But like even if you do bury it, like coyotes will still dig down to get to it, or other predatory animals.
See, like my grandfather, we had Indian blood in us. You respect every animal.
Right.
So I was always taught to bury the guts because even if a carnivore gets to them, you still honored that animal by giving them a quote unquote burial of sorts,
True.
if that makes sense.
It does. Like it's taking what was alive and replacing it back in the dirt of where it
You
came
know what I
from,
mean?
basically. Like a respect and like an homage, I guess is the right word for it. Like, hey, like appreciate your sacrifice. Like I'm gonna return you from where you started, and allow you to continue to feed nature and produce grass or whatever. Like I see where it's going. Like I'll do that if if I'm on public or uh, private wise. Like I mean, like I said, I bring them home and I dress them, quarter them, and everything here at the house. So um,
Either eat MREs for the rest of your life or only soup beans and fried taters for the rest of your life.
now you cut out on me a little bit.
Would you rather eat MREs for the rest of your life or only eat soup beans and fried taters for the rest of your life?
Well, it depends on which MRE we're talking about. Because now, if it's the Chili Mac MRE, that's going to be my go to. But now, if it's just a random MRE every day, I'm going with soup, beans, and cornbread.
Specifically, you're going to get the meat patty and beef gravy.
Oh, no, that's just gross.
I think
Nah,
that's what it's called.
soup, beans, and cornbread. Like, don't get me wrong. Like you just said, my wife will absolutely hate me because of the gas that follows, but soup, beans, and cornbread all day.
Now, you throw some kraut and wieners in there, like,
Oh, man.
I'm
Damn it, I just ate like not even 2 hours ago and you're making me hungry again. Damn. Oh, well, you want to close us out on this one? We're getting about that timeline. Like we've got like a minute to spare if you've got anything that you want to mention. Other than that, we're ready to close it out, and I'll let you have the honors.
No, I think you got everything. Just guys, remember, check on your people. It's world stuff. Make sure everybody's okay.
Yeah, can't stress the checking on your people and keeping up with mental health. The stigma of mental health as a myth needs to go away. We lose too many people across all walks of life to the mental battle in their head, and it needs to stop. And I think the biggest thing that surrounds it, and this is just from my observation, you work in the medical field, so you probably know better than I do, is the stigma of, oh, well, if you've got something mental going on, you're crazy, or it's all in your head, or walk it off, you'll be okay. Like the stigma needs to go away. And the most important thing too, though, outside of that, is like have fun, be safe, and remember it's okay not to be okay. Like if you need somebody to talk to, like I'm always open for somebody to message me. I don't care what time of the day or night it is. I don't care where you like. If you send me an email, you send me a message on Discord, if you put something in the comments on the YouTube videos, or reach to me out on Facebook, wherever, like, I'm going to do my best to get back to you in a timely manner. Like, I'll be around to talk. And I know Hartman feels the same way about that.
I do, because it's one of those things that, like, I would 110% rather sit and listen to your story than have to read your obituary.
Oh, absolutely. Well, yeah, that's a good way to wrap it. Hartman, you got any social links you want anybody to check you out on? Anything good going on there?
Nah.
All right. Well, folks, I mean, like, as you always know with my side of things, check me out on Facebook, Discord, YouTube. I'm thinking about coming back to X. I'm not entirely sure. That place is kind of a cesspool right now, so I'm kind of weighing the weight of that one. In the next episode, I'm sure it'll be some more of this, normal talk, gaming, firehouse related, mental health type of deal. Sure, we'll throw some loops in there, see who we can't get on for a guest on the next episode, if in fact we can find anybody. But man, until then, guys, like I said earlier in this episode, I'm doing my best to start bringing content back out as I feel able to do it. Having the issue with the bradycardia takes the energy straight out of me, so I'm gonna get it rolled out there when I can.
I would say we could bring my wife on as a guest, but we just do an hour of her just straight roasting us for the whole time.
You just went muffled.
I said I would say we could bring my wife on for the next episode as a guest, but she'd just roast us the entire time, and I don't feel like being sad after I get done off the podcast.
Listen, I am perfectly fine with having an episode where we just get roasted for an hour, or just BS and tell stories and not have a guide to run off of. Like, I'm fine with that.
Now, I will say, whenever, ow, foot cramp.
Jesus Christ.
I will say, when and if we do a spooky season episode, she would be great to be brought.
Oh, for sure, and I'll definitely have to try to get my old lady in on that one too. But yeah, I mean, folks, that's gonna be it for this episode. I think this is episode 4, 5, 4. Huh? Oh, technically the first episode of the new name, yes. So this being the first episode of Hooves Hardware and Halligan's, and title being Countdown to Velvet. And anyway, I'm rambling. This is gonna be me signing off as Christian, or as y'all know me as Precy Gaming. Hartman, if you got anything you want to say to sign off on, have at it, and we'll close out.
Keep your sights true and your boots polished. Have a good night.
There you go. All right, folks, you heard them. Keep your sights true, boots polished, and have a good night. We'll catch you on the next one.